Hello. Welcome to Directly to You. For the people that are watching live, welcome back,
Well,
Hello. This is episode
Welcome
200 of Directly to You. We're doing it live for the first time ever. For the people that are audio listeners, it was a great time, man. People helped us out. We fixed it. We got there in the end. It's me, AJ. I'm joined by Parker. We do a podcast every week, except for when we can't do it. But usually we do the podcast. It's the Redirect podcast, directly to you. You can support Redirect by going to youtube.com/watchredirect or twitch.tv/watchredirect and giving $4.99. Or if you're on Twitch like everybody here is right now, you can link your Amazon Prime with your Twitch account, give Prime Gaming on Jeffy B's dime. It's free to you, and we can take money from him. He doesn't need it. Just give it to us. We'll do, it'd be way better served there. Also, we're joined by Dan because it's a special episode. He's here from That Cyber channel. He's That Cyber channel on YouTube and Twitch. He's That Cyber guy on Twitter and whatnot. That's on the screen if you're looking at the screen, but for the audio listeners, that's what it is.
Does it work both ways at this point where Dan comes on only for special episodes, but if Dan came on an episode like
would that become
227,
yeah.
Is that a special number now?
It always is.
So.
That's how it goes.
Dan. This wasn't a restriction that we put on Dan. This is what Dan assigned to himself.
I think I'll break away after 200. I think I'm good.
Okay, yeah. At that point, it's just like whenever, and it's like okay.
I'm a special episode every time.
Gotcha. I'm with that. I need to see. The thing is, like, now that like having Bob on the podcast became a meme, it like made me not want to ever have him on the podcast again. But I feel like I want to have him on the podcast, but again, it's because of the meme that I don't.
Yeah.
Right. The meme ruined it all. But anyway, yeah, we're doing a thing. We're doing a special topic today. I'm calling it Nintendo Shark Tank because I think that's a nice little zingy, easy way to explain it that people will get. But Parker calls it the Nintendo pitch meeting. We're doing the thing. I'll let Parker explain it because I've been talking too much.
Okay. Hello, everybody. So yeah, what we're doing today is we asked you guys, we crowdsourced for some ideas for vague pitches or Shark Tank things, whatever, that we could, give to Nintendo if they were listening. But it's up to you guys to decide who comes with the best idea for each topic, basically. So we'll read these topics, the people that suggested them, and then we'll vote on whoever has the best idea prepared or comes up with it on the spot, depending on how much we've prepared or anything like that. And,
for what it's worth, I prepared nothing because I've been preparing everything else.
I prepared absolutely nothing.
I prepared for about 15 minutes about an hour ago. So, I'm feeling pretty good. And then there are some stakes involved. Not the kind you eat, but the kinds you dread.
I was promised steak, and now you're telling me there's no steak?
There's so much steak.
That's the thing.
And you eat it all.
That's the thing. We could do that.
I also thought about that.
Yeah,
to be
we couldn't think of a good thing for winner. Because what I want to do is, since we're on Twitch, we have polls. Which Trev, I'm gonna need you to do some heavy lifting, my guy, or other mods if you want to do it. What I was gonna say is we have people vote on whether they want us to do loser has to or winner gets. And the idea that we thought of for loser has to is the losers, which in this case would be two. We all do videos here, man. We're usually on camera. We should do it so that loser has to wear a shark costume, provided to you by the Redirect Patreon. But we could also do it if the winner wins, they get steak.
They get a steak.
We could also do that.
Yep,
That's good.
So
Winner gets steak.
That's up to chat. Would you rather us have to wear a shark? And I think it would just be hilarious on all fronts because it's like, don't explain it. Like just do the video and you're just in a shark suit. And people had to do the digging to figure out why it happened, And I mean, steak is steak. So that could also be cool.
You said hilarious on all fronts, and steak is steak. Truly hilarious. It's delicious. I'm here for it.
So that will be up to you guys.
Yeah, we'll figure that out, what exactly that is. But I think that's a good either or, and both of those seem very fun. And one sounds a little tastier than the other.
True.
But I take a steak too.
That's a fact.
All right, so let's get into it. First one is suggested from Alec, who suggested the topic: Nintendo is tasked with making the next big Marvel video game. For genre, they choose platformer. Which character does Nintendo choose to headline the game? Is it 2D, 3D, or AJ's favorite, HD 2D? What is the gimmick that sets it apart? And what Nintendo character guest stars?
I have an idea for this, but
I do too.
Okay, who wants to go first?
You go first, AJ.
Okay,
Please,
If it's my idea, I'm going to be so mad. I'm so excited about my
I hope
idea.
it is. That would be hilarious. I think just for the sake of it, just to keep it different, this should be 2D. It should be, HD 2D. I'll throw you guys all a bone, HD 2D. I think that it should be Black Panther as a platformer because he has the inertia based suit, so that could be your way to traverse that is different from other games. So it's you have to take damage from enemies to be able to clear certain obstacles and get to certain places and stuff like that. I think also it could be Metroidvania sort of situation where he gets upgraded suits and that whole thing the further you go. And they could even do the whole thing of part way through the game he loses the heart-shaped herb and stuff like that, and then it's the whole circle of Metroidvania.
Yep. I like the has to take damage. It feels kind of like Lucario sort of situation where it's the more damage he takes, the more he can do with that.
Yep.
And kinetic things and all that. That's super fun.
That's a fact.
And then the last part of the question, is what Nintendo character guest stars?
I mean, the easy answer is Samus. Could be Samus.
Interesting. How?
How?
Because, Samus is freaking Metroidvania character. She could be the reason why he loses the heart-shaped herb or whatever. She crashes.
She just walks up and she's like, I have to do this every game. You do too.
That's a fact. It's your turn to suffer. They take powers away from me, and now I'm taking them from you.
That works. That's good. I like it. Many claps.
There it is.
Okay.
Top notch.
I'm glad that you didn't pick mine because I got really excited about mine. We recently watched Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. It is not Doctor Strange, but it is, however, America Chavez, which, if anybody doesn't know, her power is she can punch stars-shaped holes into various multiverses,
and she's also basically Superman.
Yeah, I mean, she's I don't
think
the
they
power
really
creep
showed that
in MCU right now is oh goodness gracious.
Yeah,
Facts.
But that's besides the point, I suppose. But it's I think the benefit of this is we can go 2D, HD 2D, or 3D. I think it starts out 2.5D where she can punch into the background or something like that. It's not too OP, but then throughout the game you get into you can go with some really crazy art styles because it's multiverse stuff, and it's just similar. You can have a lot of really fun mechanics, like the paint world or whatever that we very briefly saw them go through in Multiverse of Madness. Do the paint world thing, and then eventually turn into 3D, and then get really esoteric and turn into that bit in Inside Out where they go through the what's it called, the imaginary section. You know what I'm talking about? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They go into some room. Is that the one I meant to say? The Pixar movie?
Inside Out is a Pixar movie, but I don't know if I know what you're talking about.
There's one bit where they go into a room. It's yeah,
is it with the Elephant Man? They went through.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
with Bing Bong.
Yep. Bing Bong.
The tube with abstract thought. That's the one. So I think that's stuff. And, honestly, as far as Nintendo guest characters, you could kind of do any because it's multiverse stuff. So, just whatever. But I think it would be great for it to be just a really weird one. Captain Rainbow or something, which you only had one. Is that the right guy I'm thinking of? I'm pretty sure. Or is it Captain N?
Captain N.
Is it Captain N? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think.
that's... Oh, wait. Captain... Maybe not. Captain Rainbow. Captain N is a thing. Captain Rainbow is also a thing, and it is weird. I only know because I watched a video from John Cartwright a while ago about it. And there we go. That's my idea.
There it is.
What?
Very good. Very
Dan's
good.
turn. Clap it up. Good job.
All right. Look, see, the problem with your two pitches is that it doesn't have enough Nintendo in here.
Oh wait, you didn't do a Nintendo. Who's your Nintendo character?
It's Captain Rainbow.
Oh, does he count? I don't know.
I mean,
It's fine. It's fine.
Literally the kind of like the Alvin Chipmunks movie, or not Alvin.
I thought
Rescue
you were
Rangers
just going
movie.
to say. I thought you were going to just say Splatoon, like because you spent a little extra time talking about the paint world.
Oh, that would have been smarter than what I actually said.
Yeah.
So we could go with that.
There you go.
All right.
Oh,
Okay.
All right.
Dan's turn.
okay, so you guys didn't go Nintendo enough. That's the thing. We need some Mario and Rabbids.
Oh no, this
All
is
up in
cursed.
here.
I hate this.
No, actually, so here's my pitch.
Okay.
Title of the game, Guardians of Metroid. Guardians of the Galaxy, Metroid. The Samus is called to a mission. She's doing her thing, and then the Guardians ruin everything.
Oh, okay.
And she has to work with them to clean up the entire mess.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
My pitch.
Okay,
People
but
would
what
both
is
love
it? Like,
and
is it 2D?
hate
Is
this.
it 3D?
So it'd be your classic 2D Metroidvania. That's what I think.
So it's just Metroid, but Guardians are there.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
shenanigans, it sounds like.
And you're
shenanigans.
forgetting the shenanigans.
Yeah. Yep. Shenanigans. Gotcha.
Could you, AJ?
And then you have
chat.
Samus.
What do you think?
And then you have Samus.
Aw,
Sorry.
man,
Oh, sorry, I was.
Trev did this all wrong. You should have waited, because now we can't do the poll for who wins the thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
I was gonna say
for
that-
audio listeners, W winner gets to is winning.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's
Winning.
looking like the steak dinner.
Cool. Well, I have more pitch then, so I'll just
Yes.
keep
Yeah.
going.
Carry on.
I just the end of the game after everything's cleaned up, the Guardians will go like, "Well, that was a job well done." Samus says nothing the entire game until the end, and she takes off her helmet, chews them all out, gets in her ship, flips them off, and goes.
Sounds good to me.
Perfect.
Yep.
I
And then
feel
you
so
just kind
sorry
of
for
flip
Samus.
between the characters. That will be the main
Yeah.
thing.
Star-Lord goes, I kind of expected that. And then,
Yeah.
Star-Lord's probably going to mess something up, as he is one to do.
for the Marvel Minute real quick, I was so mad at him in Infinity War when, I mean, it was the way it was supposed to go based on the 1 out of 14 million or whatever. But like, buddy, you were so close. His emotions are strong.
He's terrible, dude. Just like
Yep.
real life.
It's the worst.
Uh-huh. All right, so yeah, we'll figure out how we vote for that.
Wins. We need another
Steak
poll.
wins.
We need the poll for who got the who has the best idea.
And make
So-
it short. Gotta be quick.
Yeah, we need like a minute. Yeah, something like that. But during this time, what are you guys thinking, man? What's up?
I see you, AJ, about to vote on your own name.
I wasn't
there.
going to vote
Interesting.
at all. I just opened it up so you can see.
So you can click your name? Yeah, I get it.
I was going to vote for whoever was winning.
Just to
Interesting.
secure the victory.
Yeah.
All right, so as we continue, so we'll see how that one pans out when it's finished up. 11 and a half minutes to talk about video games, which is a brand new podcast by our very own Mark Erickson.
True.
Suggests the people demand Nintendo on the stage. Make your best pitch for a Broadway musical based on a Nintendo franchise.
Oh, this. Okay, so
boy.
I think we should probably invert what we did before, because Dan just had all this time to think.
Yep.
Oh, so I have to
now
go
you're on
first.
the spot.
Okay.
Yeah, now
All
you're
right.
on the spot.
Oh, God.
It's true.
All right. Okay. Nintendo that needs to go on stage. Okay. So I'm going to go with the classic producer's idea, if you've seen the movie. I'm going to go with a strong flop so we can all make a lot of money. That's my strategy. And that's why I present to you F-Zero the musical. Because nothing screams a perfect racing stage play than F-Zero, right?
True.
You got to do some good visuals there, like the cars just kind of floating, just kind of hanging out there, and then like you have a projection just like whizzing past Big Blue.
There has to be a song that's entirely about Falcon Punch.
Oh, of course.
Absolutely. It's not too dissimilar from the post-credit scene in Hawkeye.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, that's that whole thing.
Yep.
Yeah, so he'll sing a whole thing before he does the Falcon Punch. It will be a 5-minute number.
Right.
Yep.
Followed
it's like
by
him discovering that he can do it in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
And
like
so
the Hercules, in the movie Hercules where he's singing a song and I can go the distance. It's that, but Falcon Punch.
It's that, but Falcon Punch. Okay, that's my pitch. There you go.
There it is.
I like it a lot. I went to a musical back at I saw Aladdin when I was a kid, but it was like a small stage production. And for the flying carpet, they just had a little podium thing, and there was a screen behind that was like, like just the sky going fast kind of thing. And even as a 7-year-old, I was like, this is really bad. So that always stands out in my mind. Thinking of that
This is not working.
all right. I had two different ideas.
Wins, round one.
Good
So
job,
1 point Dan. 1 point Dan.
Let's go.
All right, now it's Parker's turn for his pitch.
So Nintendo Broadway play. There's been a lot of different kinds of Broadway plays done in the past, whether from Sound of Music to Hamilton to whatever. But recently, there's been a strong push for kind of slice of life, high school environment sort of things. And I think there's a couple different franchises that could kind of pull this off well, but I think none other than Fire Emblem 3 or Fire Emblem just drama. And it's like, it's just, it's a love story of some sorts between the warring factions. And it's, I guess, but like it takes place in modern day high school somehow for some reason still. I guess a little bit like the Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, that kind of thing. I also could have, I'm not going to say the other one I could have gone because then that would take it from AJ if you chose it. But carrying on.
That's really good.
But it can follow just a lot of people's little different stories. And specifically, like somebody on the bad side decides they kind of want to go good, sort of a Wicked situation. And somebody on the good side is kind of, like a little goody two-shoes is like, maybe I want to be bad. And then that's just follows their life. So there's a lot of little songs.
Oh my god, that's really good. Like I'm just sitting here like thinking of the theming. I'm just like, that's really good.
So there it is. That's my idea.
There it is. All right,
10 out of 10.
I think mine is like this is like the opposite of Dan's, where it's like
Nice.
they look at it and they're like, all right, what would be the most terrible thing that would like generate buzz and make us a lot of money because it's terrible. I think that they can easily do freaking Mario 3, dude, because it's already a play. So you do an adaptation of the game as a play, but like somehow not terrible. It's like they're more like Disney on Ice vibes than like live people, so that it's not like this whole like thing of like that's just a dude with a mustache and a red hat and overalls. It's like that's Mario, dude, and he's going through Mario 3 and they're like filling in holes of like this is why he's at this level and this is why he runs into this character and gets this suit and so on and so forth. And the songs are about things like freaking they gotta have the like double ballot of like Bowser and Mario, even though no, Bowser's not even in Mario 3, is he? It's freaking what's his name?
He's at the end.
So yeah, it could be Bowser and Mario both singing about Peach, like what their motivations are together. And then,
I was gonna say, go ahead.
I was gonna say that that will all culminate pending the success of this play, and them doing a sequel that is just directly Mario Odyssey, where they come together and they're like, wait, the true enemy is Peach. We got it. And then that's
It's about bromance.
Yeah, facts. It's not a love story between Peach and Mario or whoever. It's really Mario and Bowser.
Yep.
That's the true story.
Here's my thought for Mario 2 is he keeps trying to start musical numbers throughout the majority of the play, and people just interrupt him and stop it, and he just never. He's a silent protagonist.
Exactly, like
all the way up till the end.
He does the thing that Mario does, where it's like Mario speaks. You know, like he's not like mute. He just only says like a few words at a time. So like he'll like start it so that and nothing that he says goes longer than like 4 words.
Yep. And then, but when he does sing in that Bowser Mario thing, whatever his voice is just entirely different from
it's like
in a good or
like
bad
a
way.
female opera singer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like a recent episode of The Simpsons where, for some reason, because Marge's voice actress is really old at this point, and like her voice is just really bad.
Yeah.
They just had Kristen Bell sing some songs for her for some reason. It was a terrible decision. It was really, really bad, but it was funny that it existed.
It's true.
I want one song just cursing the sun in the desert world, like a 7-minute number. Just like the sun sucks.
This bit of this part of the play needs to be like the 40 days and 40 nights thing of like him. They're in the desert, man, and the sun is literally beating down on them. You know?
Yeah, and then it comes down from the sky and attacks
literally.
them.
Yes, and then it attacks them. Right. It's like the mid movie like climax sort of situation.
Yeah,
and then
in World 2.
Yep.
When that play goes off air, they can not off air, but off tour or whatever, and they do the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. That same prop of the sun, just turn it into a moon. And there's just a little
you're
moon
right.
coming down in Majora's Mask.
It's true.
That's big brain.
It's true.
Bunch of smorts over
That's
there.
a fact. All right, that's mine. What do we think?
That's the ideas.
What do we think?
I like all these. The other two that I had in the back of my mind were Splatoon, same kind of high school situation. Could very easily do that. And Kid Icarus, I feel like, would be like really
Kid
interesting.
Icarus is an easy one.
You put in some real good thought, and I'm just like, I don't know, F-Zero. Let's Spider-Man this thing. Let's just make it so bad.
Oh man, was the Spider-Man musical bad? I mean, I would imagine.
I don't know.
I saw it. It was
really
awful. It is so bad.
Wasn't Matt Pat in that? Or not
No.
specifically the way. I thought Matt Pat there was some story about him being in a Spider-Man musical before. He talked about that before.
Possibly, but it wasn't on
specifically
Broadway.
one that you saw.
No, I saw the big Broadway one, and if you want to talk about a bunch of people that didn't know what they were doing, it's that entire production.
How do you know what you're doing in a Spider-Man?
On West End. Sorry, go ahead.
No problem. Go for it.
Yeah, I saw the Lord of the Rings musical on West End, and it was really, really terrible. They had to make up parts. They're like, yeah, Arwen and Galadriel are in like this whole book series because we need some girls in here to sing some things. So like Galadriel just like narrates the whole thing in song pretty much, so that there's like girl voices at all. It was really bad. That is all.
Yo, W, me and Dan tied.
Good job.
You guys are incorrect. You should have all voted for Parker because that could have made money.
It's true. It's true.
All right. So next up, Thrill House asked 3 questions. One of them isn't quite a pitch thing, so we'll just see when we get to that. So here we go. Number 1. So an IP from any company that you think would work best in a modern Zelda 2 style game. So I'll go ahead and go first because I haven't gone first yet. And I'm going to look at my note, what I had the idea for, because I do not
had
remember.
notes prepared.
Consider this in your votes.
Or don't, if you want. That'd be fine, too. Or consider in your votes because
it could be good or bad.
Go to a pitch
it
meeting.
depends on if you respect the preparation or if you think it's unfair. Either one, you know.
Yeah. We didn't all have the same opportunity to prepare. No. Okay,
we didn't all have the same opportunity to prepare. Dan was buried in theory, and I was setting this up in the first place.
And I have a dumb, terrible day job.
That's true.
But that's besides the point.
That's true.
All right, here we go. Y'all ready? So to me, what makes Zelda 2 iconic is that it's an overworld that's an overworld, and then the underworld is 2D stuff. So that's like part of it. I don't know beyond that. So the idea is, in Mario Odyssey, how it was like, 3D for most of it. And then there were like little 2D sections that you do like to get from one area to the other. Explore that, but better and more. And I love Mario Odyssey, but we could see even more of that where, it's all like a big overworld. It's, basically like an open world overworld or something like that. And then as soon as you go into certain areas, it becomes like good, not just classic NES Mario, but like all sorts of different kinds of Mario 2D stuff. And that's like the, dungeons or whatever is those like very specifically designed crafted sections, because that's I feel like sometimes with Mario the parts that people do and don't like about 3D versus 2D is the 2D bits could be like meticulously crafted, whereas in 3D maybe it's a little bit floatier and you can kind of approach things a couple different ways. So that's my idea. I'm done.
Very good.
So me next? My next?
Yep.
Sure, if you want. Or I got something if you want a little bit more time to think.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, all right. So, I just recently finished Infernax, which is very much in the same style. And so for me, which kind of defines what makes Zelda 2 work is sort of the 2D sword play. And so I was trying to think, like, because if you get someone with a gun or something, because my initial thought was Horizon would be a good one to do, but she's got bow and arrow and it kind of defeats the swordplay aspect. So I'm gonna go ahead and say like a God of War spin-off could be really cool. And with good pixel art, you could do something pretty cool with that.
Yep.
And then that way you're switching between like your axe or your the Chains of Olympus. No, is it? I forgot. God, I gotta replay that game.
I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah. So I think that could be a really cool, unique idea. So I'm gonna go with God of War.
I like it.
Okay, sounds good. My first thought, placating to the weebs, man. Kingdom Hearts, dude. Kingdom Hearts is
oh no, you're right.
yeah, man.
You're right.
Like so much, like what Parker was saying, like so much of Zelda 2 is about like being in the world and like how the different play styles of that versus when you're in the level and stuff like that. That just already feels like a Kingdom Hearts thing. And then like just having it being like a Kingdom Hearts remake. Like Kingdom Hearts already has like the magical elements and stuff like that, like that Zelda 2 introduced into the Zelda franchise. So I feel like that's a pretty one-to-one transition that they could do. And then they just pick like the Disney game, like the classic Disney games from around that era to have Sora go into. I feel like that's pretty easy for them to do.
That's pretty easy. Okay, I will give you my vote if you can impress me with the title of this entry.
Oh, Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah.
It's freaking Kingdom Hearts 2 over destruction and death or something stupid like that.
Oh, come on. you gotta do like Kingdom Hearts deep dive
Descent.
Chrysalis.
Yeah, like
there
if
you
I
go.
had, see the thing is like my thought process for the title of it would be like some sort of like equation that like plays into the like the gameplay of it all, right? But I'm on the spot, man. I don't know what to say for that, you know?
It's 2D squared world. No, 2D squared 2D squared
Light and dark.
We need something more like 2D lucid 2D squared.
There you go.
There you go.
Did you get
Kingdom
your
Hearts,
own
the
vote there
platforms
because
of
you
despair.
figured it out at the end?
What happened?
Dan was going to vote for you if he liked your title, but now
yeah, no, he
so
failed
just vote
me.
for yourself. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
fine.
he did me dirty. I'm not voting. I was going to
You're not allowed to
do
vote.
my first vote.
Oh, that was your yeah, okay.
I was gonna break voting so I could vote for you.
I feel like that's
is
still
what I
a
was gonna
vote for
do.
me. I'm not gonna lie. Like I feel like it's still a vote for me if the only difference is the title. Come on, dude. Come on, man.
I've
man,
never
I'm
played a Kingdom Hearts, and so I'm like, yeah, sure, I believe you that. It's like that totally makes
Two
sense.
dimension. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
but
stuff.
God of War.
Oh, let's live. Only live. I mean, only 1 minute. Okay, where we're at.
All right, next
It's
up.
a deadlock. Oh, Parker pulled ahead.
Ooh.
Parker pulled ahead.
So I have noticed whoever's gone last for the first two has won it. So I'm curious if that plays in at all, but
It doesn't
we'll find
look
out
like
on
it,
this next one. Not
'cause
on
I
this one
wouldn't
so
lie.
far.
No.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
If you're watching, you should be voting.
You should, yeah.
Well, that
All right,
should
continuing
voice
on
be
as that's
heard.
going. Thrill House had two more, but we'll kind of put them into one. The first one, just kind of a question. Would you rather see a full-priced F-Zero game with all the bells and whistles, or an NSO F-Zero 99 knockout-style racer? And the second part of the question is, what other IP could work in a 99 style? But you can answer the first part if you want first, too.
Wait, what other game could work in a 99 style? What?
Like, Mario 99, or
99.
Mario 35, Tetris 99.
The battle- it's battle royale.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yep.
Okay. What's the order for this? What are we doing here? Parker won.
Hey!
So it's a deadlock.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. How are we going to do? What are we looking like on time? Is the question. We got.
I think we're
half
good,
hour in.
'cause-
Okay. So because I was thinking like, how many topics do we do to make it definitive? Because like so far we're all tied. So like we could do like this being a tiebreaker, but I feel like we could probably do a few more rounds if we have.
I
enough
think
questions.
so. We can do three more, and there's an optional tiebreaker.
Okay.
So because
Okay.
we've done
Okay.
three, and so at that point there's seven. Nobody can tie it with seven. Yeah.
Okay. So who's going to win on this?
AJ, what you got? 99 style.
Okay, 99 style. You know I gotta freaking do Pokemon, dude. You know I have to do that.
Yep.
There's no other option for me but to do Pokemon. And I feel like it's kind of like the thing that they could do is like you go through up until the gym, right? So like you pick your Pokemon and then you do that thing, and it's like a expedited version of that where it's like, okay, you pick your Pokemon and then you're thrown into like wild grass with trainers and stuff like that, and the more powerful Pokemon that you battle / like experience you get, that will determine what is in the other boxes of the 99. So like say I'm like, man, like I know that there's like a ROM hacked freaking bug catcher Joey with a level 40 Butterfree or whatever, but I have a level 20 Pidgeotto. I could go and try to beat that so that I can screw everybody else over by throwing in like Giovanni and he has like a level 60 Nidoking or whatever, like that sort of situation. Like that could be the way that it like throws the wrench in everybody's like play. It's kind of like the Pokemon Battle Royale that like I pitched like a while ago on the podcast, but it's like the 8-bit version of this.
I mean, or even like it's less that other people like affect your world in a like Mario 35 kind of sense.
Yeah.
But like it maybe more like you could everybody can go out, catch whatever Pokemon, and then but you just battle each other as you run into each other, and it's just kind of last man standing, but eventually like you catch whatever
like
you
if they
can,
do
just
that,
like get started.
The thing about that, I feel like it should be like once it whittles down, like when it's like down
Yeah,
to 5
that makes
people
sense,
or
too.
whatever, that's when you start to battle other trainers and stuff. And I feel like for this, it should be like not 99, it should be like Pokemon 25 or something.
Yeah,
Because
for
like
sure.
this
Yeah.
is
No,
already,
you gotta go low.
Yeah, this inherently would be like a longer thing, I think. Just because it's more set up and more things involved with it. It's not as simple as like, oh, I ran into the thing and I died, So the amount of players has to be smaller, I think, for this.
Yep, that makes sense. So for mine, I'll probably also smaller number for this, maybe not quite 99, maybe like 50 even or something, but would be like a slower experience at the beginning, and intentionally so. It would be, man, Metroid keeps coming back up today. But it starts out very like isolated, you know, Metroid-y kind of. It plays probably more like Fortnite in the sense that you know, are like gathering some resources and trying to get your gear back together and like be fully powered up or something like that. But eventually, you know, the world shrinks or whatever. So you're exploring around trying to find other people to, you know, level up from getting them or something like that. But then by the end of each match, you'll be like various suit and, you know, morph ball, like have all the things, maybe even be extra powered up. Like there's some additional things where like if it starts going to sudden death, you get like the charge beam thing from Metroid Dread where you can like just do insane damage or whatever. But specifically, there were some battles in Metroid Dread that felt kind of like Samus fighting Samus, like people that had similar kinds of powers to you, even though it wasn't, not spoilers or anything like that. And I think those were very fun. So I think more of that, and it starts out atmospheric but gets stressful, intense by the end. That's my thought.
That's very good. It just, it's really unfortunate that both of you are wrong. Because the thing with the 99 style is that it's very distinguished from a battle royale because you really just kind of focused in, you know, surviving in your space. And
I'd argue it's the same thing for mine. It's the same thing.
It's true. That's true. No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, and this is not to say that you guys were wrong. This is just me kind of like making sure that
said we're wrong.
yeah, because you picked the wrong game.
Pokemon's never the wrong game. How dare you?
Star Fox.
True. I'm surprised.
And
Star
what you
Fox hasn't
do,
come up yet.
if you do, like, you can do the 99. And what you do is for the first, it goes in 2 phases. In phase 1, it's a dogfight. And so you were going around, you fight the other enemies and spaceships, and then, you know, based on how many you kill, you can send them to other people's dogfights. So back and forth. Once it knocks down to 10, all the fighters go in, and now you're fighting against the 10 other players. That's what I think. And then you could, if you wanted to, if you wanted to add a bit more customization, I think the nice thing about the 99 is just it's a pick up and play style. You don't need to learn special tactics or anything. But if you wanted to, you know, like have you be able to pick certain characters, so like Fox would be well balanced, Falco could be you know, do a little bit more damage but might have a slower ship, but you could do stuff like that if you wanted to. I think you just straight in Star Fox.
Yep.
So
makes sense.
Does make sense.
I like it a lot.
Also
And
do the thing of like, because you know they usually have the like right stick changing the target thing that could like change which one you are, you know, because you know Star Fox is a crew, so it's like, oh, I'm using my Slippy for this part, you know.
Yep.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. And gives it a chance to actually revive an IP that desperately needs some tender love and care.
That's a fact.
Are you thinking visually? Are you thinking more like, you know, Star Fox Zero kind of thing, or more like Star Fox 64 or SNES Star Fox?
I think you sit at you probably do Star Fox Zero, but if you're looking at just trying to make things run smooth, because we know Nintendo does online so well, just go with the SNES version and just maybe spice it up just a little,
just to make it easy to consume. I feel like it needs to be the SNES version. Like if it's like Star Fox Zero, there's too much stuff going on. You know?
There's a lot going on. So, yeah. And heck, you could even do 3 phases if you want. You could do the on the rails into a dogfight. Or you could do the in the rails into the dogfight with the other 10. So it's all like kind of, you know, if you're thinking about it in a circle, everyone's going down their path, and then like the last people that make it to the end start fighting each other.
I like some of the ideas in chat, by the way. I like that idea a lot also.
Yeah.
Some of the ideas in chat, Ring Fit Adventure 99, 99 Red Balloon Fight. For what it's worth, I at some point in life was also like, man, Balloon Fight would be a fun one like that. Just because, like, I don't know, it's quick and pick up and play and like easy. Jump Rope Challenge 99. Yes, good job, guys.
True.
Yeah.
Jump Rope Challenge. I'm surprised they didn't do that. I feel like they should have done that.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, cool. Moving on to the next one. We'll get the poll up for that one. And Trevor suggested. Oh, I'm so excited. I want to go last for this one.
Okay.
Because Trevor suggested
Fine.
Nintendo teams with Disney. Nintendo makes games using, or we'll say a game using Disney IP. Disney makes a movie or shows using Nintendo IP. So just pick a game and a show that the other company's making.
Okay, so Nintendo will make the Disney thing. So Kingdom Hearts is already off. We have to take Kingdom Hearts off.
Right.
That's too obvious.
Yeah.
So they're making the. So what game does Nintendo make from a Disney IP, and then what movie does Disney make?
Or show, yeah.
Got it.
And when we say Disney, do we mean like Disney Animation Studios? I don't think it should be like Marvel
Anything.
or Star Wars or like I think that's kind of
right.
Classic. Yeah.
Yeah, like Pixar is my question. Like it's Pixar off the table.
I think
Pixar's not off the
Pixar's.
table.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
All right,
Dan, you go.
I'll go first. So
okay.
I think the movie that Disney makes should be Luigi's Mansion. I think that could be a lot of fun just in there. And then also on top of it, it'll be fun to then kind of sneak in like haunted mansion stuff from the Disney rides. So you get like those kind of scattered within. So that's what I think the movie should be. The Disney IP that Nintendo should make, I will think about in a minute, and I'll just kind of stall here.
Okay, we'll do it like this. We'll pitch the first part, and then we'll circle back around for the second part.
Great. Okay. Luigi's
So-
Mansion.
So for me, the movie I think is super easy. We talked about it before, but for a different reason. I think Kid Icarus is a super easy movie to do, just because like Disney, a lot of times they like to incorporate an analogy for like the character's growth with like their like psychological or like sociological or whatever growth, right? So Kid Icarus, Pit, he's an angel that can't fly. You know, like I feel like that's an easy way to like point out like how that makes him different within his society and his friends and people that don't like him and why they pick on him and stuff. But he's special anyway because Palutena picked him. You know, like I feel like that's a pretty straightforward Disney message. They usually do that. They do it great. You know, I think again, I brought up Pixar. I think Pixar could make it look cool. I think that this is pretty like Turning Red.
Yep, I was thinking the same.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, like that kind of vein. I think it could be good. Also, you know, like the Kid Icarus characters are great after Uprising and stuff like that. So it's easy to like make the character moments and the dialogue and the jokes good because they're already good.
Also, into Ask, are we voting twice this round? I'm gonna say no.
Yeah,
and
no,
we
just
like,
one
you gotta,
package deal for the.
Yeah, so
exactly.
so if you just really like the movie pitch, even though the game pitch is meh, you're just really strong on that movie, you can go for that. But
right.
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do both at once, and then
And then
good idea.
We'll take it. So Dan does the
and
game,
you'll
and then
see
I'll
why in a minute. I'll start with which one? Disney makes a show instead using a Nintendo IP. That show is Mother in the style of a Gravity Falls show, because everybody wants more Gravity Falls because it's friggin' the best.
You suck.
Very
I already see where this is going, and you suck.
Yes, you exactly. Spoiler alert: the opposite is also true. Then Nintendo makes a Gravity Falls game in the style of Earthbound, but like again, so Gravity Falls is great because it's kind of like normal things, but like sci-fi and crazy things happen as well, and that's totally what Earthbound is as well, where it's just like slice of life, little kids doing kids stuff, but then there's aliens and all sorts of like weird hippie enemies and various things like that. So yeah, I mean, I don't think I need to pitch that much more of it because your imaginations can run wild, but I think those two things would be so good. That's it. Gravity Falls and Mother. Swap.
You
places.
really suck. You really suck.
I thought about you when I had this idea for what it's worth, Dan. I was like,
I love Gravity Falls so much. It's such
so
a good show.
Were you going to do that, or you didn't even think to do that?
I went to the movies first
Yeah.
because I don't know too many Disney show IP, and I'm pretty sure that Nintendo isn't going to do a good iCarly. I don't know.
iCarly's Nickelodeon.
No, is it Nickelodeon?
They would do terrible.
So even
How dare you?
are you on this
Is that Alyssa in the
podcast?
background?
Are you on this podcast? I didn't think so.
You could be on the podcast, dude.
If Alyssa has an idea, feel free to let her.
Okay,
pop her
so
head and get one.
I mean, now being put on the spot, I think it's worked before on a Nintendo system, and I think it could be done very well again. A little bit of DuckTales, but using the new 2007 template, because that one has a bit more adventure and a bit more through line and mystery. It's just a shame that they again killed a great show early. And with that in mind, I take immediately back, and I'm going to put Owl House.
I don't even know what that is.
Owl House has some of the greatest world building. It would be a fantastic place to explore, to run around in. It's magic. You can learn spells. The characters are incredibly memorable. So, screw DuckTales, Owl House. That's what I'm going with.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. It's my turn for the game.
Yep.
I think for the game, Nintendo should make a Monsters Inc. like Monster University combination thing of like, that's the character arc of like you start in the university and then you do Monster Inc. and then it eventually gets to a point where like you're just doing the like persistent game, like online multiplayer sort of situation of like, here's a random kid that we thought of their attributes and you have to figure them out and scare them, and or the laughing thing, because that's where they came around to at the end of the day, and figure out how you want to do it. And they could even do a sort of situation where it's like you decide the monster that you are, dude. Are you a good monster? You make the kid laugh, or are you a bad monster? You scare the kid, I feel like they could definitely do that, and they can kind of go in the like Fire Emblem Three Houses sort of area where it's like when you're in the university and stuff, that's how you like craft the type of monster you are and like what you're good at and what you're bad at, and then you find like your partner and like that you build the chemistry between you and your partner and see what that whole thing. I think that's what they should do.
I see you. I
like that a lot. I think it's like so many movie adaptations or game adaptations of movies end up just being a generic like platformer something, that kind of thing. And so I think anytime, even like from what I hear, the Hotel Transylvania 3 game is like a Pikmin clone for no good reason, but it just is. And like that's fun when those kinds of movies are turned into games that are unique and like have different things. So all that said, I think that's great, as opposed to doing just like a
Monster
Sully
University
and you jump
3
around.
brats. That's a fact. Yep. I think it could be good.
Yep. There you go. All right, so the combo ideas, so you have to vote for both of these, is Kid Icarus plus Monsters University thing, which is great. Owl House plus I
too have forgotten. I'm sitting here going, Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion.
Yes. Luigi's Mansion and Gravity Falls Mother switcheroo.
Yep.
All right, there you go.
There it is.
Man, Parker's gonna have some great steak at the end of this.
I don't know.
Oh man, who knows?
There's all right, last question before the tiebreaker, and we'll just see where we're at with this one. Suggests, if you could take two Nintendo franchises for a crossover game, what would they be and what would the game be like?
Okay, who's going first on this?
I'll go ahead and go first because I have, I wrote down an idea. This one, just because it feels super, I don't know, out there and different. Because I'm not going to say other things that I could have done. Doshin the Giant and Pikmin.
I won the round.
Nice.
For the audio listeners.
Very good.
So I am in the lead currently.
You know what? I got 0 votes, but I'm just glad for Dan that I picked Gravity Falls, just because that's it.
That made me. Yeah. That made me happy.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to do.
It was too targeted. Was your problem? And this is what
don't even care.
Behind the scenes, this is what I was talking to Parker about when we were thinking of like things to pitch, because like we gotta make it broad so people care to vote for a specific thing.
Yeah.
It's true.
But yeah, okay. Next up.
Okay, back to your pitch.
So my idea, Doshin the Giant meets Pikmin. Because I've never played Doshin the Giant, but to my understanding, Doshin the Giant, it's like he's a giant and it's like a world building kind of sim kind of a thing I don't know, the planet evolves and you do things and you're making it be a certain way or something like that. I don't even really know, but that's kind of the gist that I get. Whereas Pikmin, you're a tiny little Pikmin and you're just like down on the grass and things. So I'm thinking as, Doshin the Giant, you're creating this big world that somehow you switch between the two and you can be Pikmin down on the ground doing things. And it's like there's pests that are making this big world be problematic. So then, it's like I'm trying to build it, but over here, something bad's going on. Pikmin goes down there and gets the invasive species gone or something. Pikmin. I meant Olimar. Goes down there and gets rid of the invasive species. Something like that. But I just like the idea of switching between like way zoomed out and way zoomed in, but never really getting the like ground level normal perspective. That's it.
Okay.
The end.
Is it me?
I'll go. Do you?
Dan. I believe in you, Dan.
Okay, thank you. I thank you for believing me. I mean, it keeps coming back up, and I feel like this is just. I feel like I'm taking the obvious one, but I really strongly believe that a Metroid Star Fox
absolutely
that's
what
crossover is like
intentionally didn't pick, but yes, totally.
It's I was thinking that maybe like a Zelda and Metroid would be really cool as well, just because they're both exploring and all that sort of stuff. But like Star Fox and Metroid. It's a great strategy from a business perspective to tie a dormant franchise to one that just had an absolute incredible game. Both obviously in space, flying around, doing space things. And I think it gives just a little bit more... you would have to frame it a bit more like Metroid Prime 3, where you can actually go to different planets and that sort of stuff.
Right.
But it gives a chance to have some of that more isolated, like exploring stuff with, oh no, Andros is attacking this place. We have to run over there. But also on top of it, I think as far as villains that could potentially vibe with one another, I think Andros and Mother Brain make a real good, interesting combo as just being two smart, like, tactical enemies versus, Ganon and Mother Brain would be just a weird duo. Like, that's kind of weird. It could do Ridley and Ganon, but, like, how do they communicate? I think Andros and a Mother Brain, or even, like, a rogue bounty hunter from... the Metroid Prime series, those working together make a lot more sense. And I think like a bounty hunter that's been there was a bounty hunter that was teased a bunch in Metroid Prime. I can't remember what it is, but team him up with like someone that is more of a tactician. You have a good combo where you have the bounty hunter running and trying to like mess up everything while Andros is in the back, moving chess pieces. I think that's a really cool combo to go against. So I know it's an obvious one, but I think it's because it has so much potential.
My idea for that's always been, I mean, I like I would play that kind of thing way more than a racer, but like you could also do the just like all the spaceship racers, they're here now. And that's just plop them in there, but like do some Diddy Kong adventure racing kinds of things where like there's missions, but it's, it's a racer at the end of the day kind of thing. But yeah, totally those two work together so great.
My idea would be Yoshi and Kirby. Mostly because they
that's
occupy
good.
a similar place in the market, but I feel like they also have, this is a pitch meeting, so you got it. Somebody has to say synergy at least once.
Oh, you're right. Synergy.
So it's like, Yoshi, like Yoshi's first game or first like claim to fame game. I feel like it's Yoshi's Island. You're protecting a baby. Kirby's a baby, dude. Kirby, big baby energy, but also like they both have the same like combat tool being that they eat things. So it's like you have to weigh like the risk versus reward of like, okay, would it be better to like inhale this as Kirby and get the copy ability, or would an egg that I would get from this be better off? Or like maybe it's some sort of like resource management thing of like, oh man, Kirby hasn't eaten in a while, so he's not going to be as effective. But Yoshi also hasn't eaten in a while, so maybe he should eat this, and so on and so forth. And you do some sort of combination of like, really, Yoshi is the one that needs to protect Kirby because, again, Kirby eats the baby. But at the same time, Yoshi is the one that is more vulnerable because Kirby is a god. So it's like Kirby is both like Tails, but also Baby Mario from Yoshi's Island. You know, that sort of like dynamic. And I feel like the story and like the enemies and stuff like that are pretty easy because neither one of them, except for Kirby, like Kirby has like DDD obviously, and then like Meta Knight is like the anti-hero sort of situation. But a lot of times their enemies are enemies that are created for that specific game. So that just makes it easier for them to like go wild and make whatever type of enemies they want to make. And I think it also
I like the idea of like Kirby, so say it's, you know, both of them on screen at the same time and stuff, and one of them kind of just follows you around as an AI or something, but to get up to a high spot, Kirby has to like eat Yoshi and like blah, 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 blah. Or like if there's some breakable things but you don't have a stone ability around, then Yoshi eats Kirby and then lays it as or lays him as an egg, breaks through the blocks, like just a little. That's fun. I like it.
Yeah,
Stuff like that. And then just like what Mark said, some Mando slash Grogu energy. Yep, exactly. Yep.
That's good.
You could do the Donkey Kong Country sort of like character switch mechanic where you're just hitting. All you're doing is hitting select and just bouncing between the two. And
then there's also the thing of like when they're like when Diddy's like on Donkey Kong's back, like that sort of situation. You can also do that.
Yeah.
It would be nice because like at Kirby Star Allies had, you know, 2-player, but it was like, I mean, it had multiple player and the AI was like just not well balanced or like did too many things for you or whatever. Whereas this would be good because like, you know, just do kind of like a Bowser Jr. in Bowser's Fury situation where it's like he's there, you can tell him to do less and then he'll just do less, but like you still have to be the one to figure it out. Or like Guigi sort of thing too.
I was thinking more Guigi because Guigi is like so much more of like an asset to solve puzzles, whereas like Bowser Jr. is like, I can use that suit. You know, like that sort of thing.
I guess with just the exception that Guigi isn't always out, so like it would have to have some of the like plodding around following you. But then when you need it, it's right there.
Yeah, you got to be able to like, man, I just really like playing Yoshi Story, Yoshi Island. I just want to be Yoshi and play like a good majority of the game as Yoshi with rare switches to Kirby, or you play as Kirby.
And then it's kind of like an inherent like easy normal mode sort of situation, right? Where it's like if you're like a baby gamer and you just want no real friction, you're Kirby all the way through. But like Yoshi can introduce friction, so I think that's also good.
And you can even set that up to 4 players and have different colored Yoshi options and your Meta Knight and DDD joint and bandana. Waddle Dee.
You got it.
Facts. It's true. All right.
Good
so
ideas.
Nintendo, we're ready for our paychecks, so you can just cash in
for forever, man. All I got some games and invites to events so far.
And somehow that's true. So the ideas for voting were Yoshi Kirby, Metroid Star Fox, and Doshin Pikmin. Let us know what you think. And then based on that, we will or won't have. I'll go ahead and read the tiebreaker, and whether we use it or not, we can just throw it out
a potentially there, right now. It's a 2-2-1.
It is, yeah. So I mean, if this goes to Dan, then we'll need it. All right. So the tiebreaker is I came up with this idea, but I haven't thought about it at all. So we're all on the same page.
That's a likely story.
It would take too much time to have thought of, so I just didn't. Create a brand new Nintendo IP. You come up with the name of the main characters, or so name if you want of main character, if you want genre, setting, and the boxed antagonist like Ganondorf, Bowser, whatever.
Sure.
So brand new IP. characters, genre, setting, and bad guy.
Looks like
Okay.
Dan's winning.
Nice.
Oh
All
boy,
right, we'll need
well
this
I
last
better
one.
start. Oh, that's it.
Hey,
There it
look
is.
at that.
I think they just wanted to tie.
Oh God, guys! Just wanted extra content. We would have gave you extra content anyway.
True.
But
You've
now
been
the
such a
pressure's
great
on.
audience.
This is for steak. This
True, it
question
is
is
for
for
steak.
steak.
Yeah.
So
It's for steak. This is the steak question.
it is. All right.
Damn,
Does anybody
Daniel,
have any ideas
you
off
made
the
it
bat?
a
'Cause I-
draw. Okay, who's going first on this?
Oh God, this is a lot to think about. It's not
Yeah.
just like.
Okay, I'm gonna just start, and it'll
Okay.
happen as it happens.
All right.
The main character is it's a team of 3 main characters, but one of them is more main than the others. The main character is Rosella. It's a girl character, and then it's 2 guys, Trickle and Dominic.
Trickle. I love
Couldn't
Trickle.
tell you why, but that's what we got.
I
Trickle's
stand
the big
Trickle.
guy,
I stand
and
Trickle.
Trickle is a big burly dude, and Dominic is smaller and stuff. The style of game is no. Let's go setting first.
Okay.
Setting is New York City kind of era, but 1920s, like you know,
Okay.
like guys sitting out on the
On the
What's it called?
Scaffolding.
yes, guys sitting on scaffolding. That era of New York, and which I don't know. This does not feel Nintendo-y at all. So who's to say? But this is where we are. But the
Trickle
genre
merch
is
now.
I'm telling you, you struck gold with Trickle.
Didn't have to say
Yes.
anything about the game. Just Trickle. In fact, I think you should pivot and make the game all about Trickle.
Yep.
I think so. It's yeah. There we go. I don't know. Box antagonist is it's just a guy named John. And you don't know anything about him until the end. His story unfurls as it goes. I still don't know what the genre is, but it's Nintendo. So I mean, the safe answer is platformer. I don't want to do that. Maybe you know what? Let's go out there and do some kind of more like tactics RPG sort of a thing in the Mario plus Rabbids sort of style.
Okay.
There you go. Trickle.
So-
I'm leading with Trickle.
Trickle.
The rest is kind of iffy, but
It's Trickle the video
There we go.
game. Okay, is it me
That's it,
next?
that's
I'm
my-
next.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I think that what Nintendo should do is they do their I'm going to say version because it's the easiest way to contextualize this, but not their version in the way that you might immediately think. But they should do Fur Fighters, right? And it's a shooter, but it's like a freaking like super gritty, gory shooter, but it's not actually because there's stuffed animals. So like there's like very
I
there's, like,
see.
there's like very like things that like if you fill in the holes with your brain, it's like, oh man,
Yeah.
he just like ripped out his spine, but it's just like you know like an animatronic sort of situation.
It's like a zipper or something.
And it like looks like that. Like it's not like a Freddy sort of like I'm trying to scare you. It's just like you know what it is. You know what's happening here in a very Earthbound sort of way, where it's like Earthbound looks like this like very innocent, you know, happy-go-lucky video game, but it's about like grief and police brutality and abortion and stuff. You know, like that sort of situation. Yeah, so it's like a competitive shooter, but also like a third-person story, sort of, you know, like Gears of War, Halo, that kind of like vibe. As far as gameplay goes. I don't know about characters. I feel like characters are probably a better idea if like you pick your own character. So like if you're like, man, I really like unicorns. Your main character is a unicorn, and you create your unicorn, and you go through the story based off of that.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I feel for mine.
Nice. Oh, I should have
All
put
right.
name of the franchise.
Yeah,
'cause
I
didn't
think
even
the name of
about
the
that.
franchise it should be like Wars Fluffed Up.
Wars fluffed.
Yeah, yeah, man. That's the name
That's
of the
good.
franchise.
That's good.
It's wonderful.
I'm just leading into Trickle for my franchise name.
Yeah, lean hard.
Trickle.
Yeah.
Trickle's good support. You can lean on him.
Yeah. All right. Dan.
Okay, so I wanted to. So I kind of came up with my genre first. So I definitely wanted to do a first-person shooter. But I also wanted to be like,
Man, Dan, same wavelength. What does Nintendo?
yes, same wavelength.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, of course, you have the sort of issue of like making it Nintendo. So no matter what it is, it's got to be like somewhat family friendly.
Yeah, it has to be like cute in some way.
Yeah. So I think you have, as far as main characters are concerned, the player can be picked between a male, female, and then to be progressive, non-binary or gender fluid. There you go. Like Nintendo makes the big move, that'll get attention.
But also because they should.
And mostly because they should.
Yeah.
You make that clear. They frickin' should. So I do, and like the setting is like a metropolis sort of city, where there is these monsters that live outside the city called gremlins, and gremlins are essentially gremlins, and they're mischievous little buggers. They're mischievous. So you gotta go get them out of the city, and so you essentially go through levels, shooting up gremlins, and you gotta stop King Greml's plan to take over the city.
The Gremlin. King Gremlin.
The Grem King.
Grem King?
I just like King
Mr.
Gremls.
Grem.
King
Look,
Gremlins?
the
Oh,
word
okay.
Gremls just feels good in the mouth,
feels
so you gotta go with Gremls.
Because it feels kind of bad, honestly. Like something about like it feels, but you know, in a good way.
Yeah, in a good way.
Yeah.
And then
presents a good question. He said, "And when they eat after midnight, then what happens?"
then that's when you switch it to like the 18 plus mode, where suddenly everything gets real gritty and bloody. And no longer are you kind of like, your weapon would kind of knock them out or just kind of kick them out of the city, but like in 18 plus mode it just murders them. So
Yep.
and there'd be some secret lore about how this is like a post-apocalyptic world, you know, as is, you know, Nintendo tradition. And then you name it Stop Those Gremls. There we go.
All right. So,
in the title, officially, like how Panic at the Disco has Panic exclamation mark at the Disco, there's a clap between it's Stop Those Gremls.
Oh, yeah,
and it
yeah,
always
yeah.
has
Stop Those Gremls.
yeah, that's like the type of thing that like during the E3 like live stream, like the Nintendo spokesperson is like, you
Has
gotta
to
put
do
the
it every
claps.
time?
Yeah, you have to clap between the title or it's not official.
Yeah, and
Oh,
of
man,
course
what game
every
have you been playing last week? You know, I'm just playing Stop Those Gremls, and it's really fun.
and I love the idea of just like, defenders, you gotta stop those Gremls
Facts.
at the beginning of every mission.
That's a fact. That's a fact. All right, so the options are Trickle, TM, Wars Fluffed Up, or Stop Those Gremls. That's the options.
All of these are incredible.
Indeed.
And this is for steak.
Oh man, so
This
we'll
is for
find
the
out.
steak.
This is for steak.
Oh man.
I feel like we should watch this one. You know, watch it as it's happening.
So far, Parker pulled ahead for the steak. People really like Trickle. Trickle a lot.
Dude, Trickle's an MVP.
Trickle.
Truly, if I win, it is that's all that did it. Really,
Trickle
like,
of
hate
brought
to
you
say
steak,
it, but
man.
Look, Trickle has a very strong back. He can carry you to victory.
That's a fact.
That's
a fact.
He can do a lot of things, but you know what? He can't get over his love
Hey, worst fluffed up,
cheesecake?
gotta vote.
Yep.
They gotta vote.
Hey,
I'm
yeah,
a little upset to not see any love for Stop Those Gremmels.
Yeah,
you know what I
stop
mean?
those people are just lazy these days. They don't want to say stop those grandmas every time they talk about the game they want to play, you know?
I've seen some love.
Okay, there we go.
There you go.
There we go. Then you could just shorten it to STG.
Uh-huh.
Yo,
No
you playing
claps?
some STG this?
You don't got a clap for that? Maybe
No,
there's
because
just
it's
a clap
abbreviated.
with the M. STG.
G.
Yeah,
Boom. It's signed into law that you have to clap.
I don't know, man. Trickle's carrying, dude.
Man,
Man.
you gotta love Trickle.
I think Trickle is winning the stake.
So is there a game that's like the war is fluffed up? You said there's some other game that's
There's
like...
a game called Fur Fighters where it's like your stuffed animals, but it's just like that's just what it is. It's like it's a shooter in your stuffed animals. I want World Wars fluffed up to like really play into the fact that you're a stuffed animal because like it's going to be like ultra violent, but the way that they're going to be like, nah, man, this is rated E is because it's stuffed animals and it's very like anatomically correct about that. Where it's like every like piece of gore is informed by how stuffed animals are made. You know. That's the situation. That said, Parker wins.
Woo! Trickle.
Thanks, Trickle.
All right.
That
We'll figure out
Ironically,
the logistics for
the
your steak dinner.
it was the part that I probably thought about absolutely the least because it was a word that came out of my mouth without really thinking whatsoever.
Man. So it's just like YouTube
So thank you,
videos.
guys.
Sometimes the thing that you just thought of last second is the one that gets 1 million views.
Yep. That's how it works.
That's how it
I'm
works.
gonna. We need to get like Max does some pixel art. We need to see if Max can do pixel art for Trickle, and then we.
Oh,
that could be
absolutely.
That's a
merch or
fact.
something. You know.
I need a visual. of Trickle, and then
Yeah.
I need fan art.
See, but the thing is,
Yes.
you have to nail it. Because if you get Trickle wrong,
You're
that's
right.
That's gonna bite you.
So in
hard.
my head, he's a little bit like what's his name? All of a sudden I forgot. From Seuss from Gravity Falls. But bigger, but kind of similar to Seuss from Gravity Falls.
Gotcha.
That works, or you go with just like straight like lumberjack.
Also that.
Trickle the lumberjack. Also great.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yep.
That's a W either way. So, are we doing news? Well, we're doing at least one. So we're here.
Yeah.
We're in news, everybody.
Let's do it.
Welcome.
Good job,
Welcome to
everybody.
Yeah.
news.
All right, we've only got one thing that we're talking about because, we've got other things to talk about. It's just, we haven't done the podcast in 2 weeks, so there has been lots of things
There's
that
been a
happened.
lot
We
of
haven't
news.
talked
didn't
about.
even
Yeah.
We didn't
the
talk about Indie
financial
World,
report, dude.
We didn't talk about Financial Report.
Who cares about
Reggie's-
Indie World? Indie World was super mid.
I
I didn't even
think
watch
that's the
Indie
takeaway.
World. That's the
It was-
thing.
I forgot it even happened.
See?
Yeah,
L.
I watched it after the fact and was like, there were a couple games in there that I'd be interested in playing, but like the biggest thing, they didn't have like a one more thing at all.
Yeah.
They finished with a sizzle reel, which is just that's a rough move. I don't know if
And
something
they didn't
dropped
even
out towards
open
the
with
end.
it, like, because usually they have like a pretty strong opener, whether it's
Yeah,
new
I don't
or not.
know.
Because like sometimes it's just like, okay, this is like the game that we think will demo the best that they open with, and then they close
Do you
with
think-
like established thing, But
Yeah.
they didn't.
Did
really
they?
do that.
Do you think maybe some developer or something pulled out last minute?
It's possible.
It's possible. I mean, honestly, some thought. So they opened with Ooblets, which like apparently is a big deal in some circles. I don't really know much about it, but we got the Fall Guys like official release date announcement like a couple days or a week after this. I feel like if they could have done it, that would have been a really good last thing because that's an indie game, so that would have worked. But yeah, I wondered the same thing for sure, Dan, because it did seem like just something was just missing. Like they could have just put something else there instead, but they didn't.
That's a fact.
So there's us talking about Indie World. You're,
yeah,
you're
we
There's
talked.
welcome, internet.
Yeah, we talked about Indie World. Nintendo made a lot of money. They also did that. That was the thing that we didn't talk about before.
They did so many monies, lots of games, got
So many monies.
sold a lot of copies and stuff.
It's true.
And then so the one that I wanted to talk about today, I don't want to share my screen because it would take too much, but I guess I technically could have for this. But
I
it's
mean,
that
it definitely we could do that. You could share your screen.
yeah, sure, why not?
It's
So
doable.
let's see.
So
Oh wait, I need
you just
to
share your
open
screen
the
through
right thing.
Discord.
I'll try to do that in a second, but like here, while I'm getting it all together.
I wish it was Dan.
It's okay. I'm just not going to this time. We're gonna share
You
it.
could. It's just a matter.
Well,
of
I don't
sharing
have the
your
link
screen
up on
Discord.
this.
Oh,
I'm
that's
on
the
two different
problem.
computers
Yeah,
and stuff, so I'd
okay.
have to pull it up on here. So,
Right.
if people can look it up if they want to, but they did an Ask the Developer for Nintendo Switch Sports, and there's too many like bits and pieces to go over all of them here. But like, we just learned some interesting things about that game and like what it was originally supposed to be, and then changed to, and whatever. But like have you guys seen anything about this or read any of these things?
No.
I didn't read the article. Okay. I just read some headlines basically so far.
So we're going down the
but-
rabbit hole now.
That's right. Yeah. So a couple of little tidbits. One of them was they almost didn't have motion controls in the game. Or at least I think really what it was that's the headline. I think it actually is like they thought about having a mode where you don't use motion controls in addition to the ones that are there. But like big picture, what I'm getting from this is they really struggled trying to decide, is this going to be a Wii Sports reboot or try to make it like similar but as different as possible kind of thing. So that's and there's just a lot of interesting tidbits about that. Like, for example, when they were thinking about having the characters, one of the things that was fun here was they talked about Mii's, and they said, however, the Mii characters... Oh, sorry, blah, blah. I'll start before that. It was going to be various characters, like you were going to be food robots or like robot people playing, and you didn't do that, like a hamburger robot or something. Oh, you got it pulled up. Nice. If you go specifically to the third link that I put up, that one has like the most pictures in it.
Third link. Open that and then freaking key it
Oh,
over.
yeah, I see.
Yeah. So if you scroll down, there's pictures of like what the concept art was for the characters, which is honestly like quite cool. Like I like that a lot. And then there's those
What the heck?
robots that look like food robots and various things. What I wonder is, will these just be unlockable outfits eventually? Because
I mean, we can be a squirrel.
Exactly, yeah, you can be a squirrel. So, like, they could make them weirder and weirder as they go along. But so, yeah, pause it right there. Or, I mean, on the scrolling bit.
Yep.
On this bit, they said, as a result, we decided to go with a new design that resembles a human being. However, the Mii characters in Wii Sports didn't have arms. The sphere was considered a hand, and even if the ball went a little far away, the hand would fly out and hit back. It didn't look unnatural because of the lower screen resolution at the time in that character setting. But I thought it would be difficult to incorporate it into today's consoles. Also, this is my favorite part, I was quite certain that in the memories of our customers, the Mii characters have arms. And yeah, which is like, the way that you remember things is really different oftentimes from like
I don't
what
know
it really
if I
was.
remember them having arms. They're Rayman people.
They are Rayman people. So, yeah.
They kind of get to decide when they want arms and when they don't
Yeah,
want
they have
arms.
arms sometimes.
It's true.
They have
So
arms
it's a
to,
physical
like, smash
choice.
and stuff.
Just like I can.
All right, let me know if I need to stop anywhere else.
No, you're good. I think those are some of the biggest takeaways that I had from this. Again, I didn't read it all in detail, and I think there's some really interesting stuff in here if anybody else wants to go check it out. But like,
Oh yeah, they took a
I
deep
guess
dive.
maybe question for you guys. Yeah, there's like 4 pages or 5 pages of questions.
Yeah, there's a lot.
and some of them are like technical things, like
You can buy
how
a video
much
game.
the motion control, like how closely it's supposed to do it, or like is it overcompensating or undercompensating, those kinds of things. But yeah, basic question to you guys is, how do you feel like they did in the like Wii Sports to not Wii Sports, quadrant? Like,
So you mean like how well did they do at retaining the value and like admiration of Wii Sports?
I guess.
with Switch
Well,
Sports?
like, if their question was they internally couldn't decide if they wanted it to be as much like Wii Sports as possible or just barely like Wii Sports, but still kind of, do the same thing. Where do you feel like,
I
do you feel like they successfully fell on that line, or, any of that kind of thing?
Yeah, me personally, I think that like if they made it like this like thing where it didn't have motion controls, there would be less of a reason to play it. because like then it's just this generic like Mario Sports, not Mario Sports sort of situation. Whereas like now with the motion controls and stuff, it's like you make it an attraction, you know, like it's like playing a shooter versus like going to play laser tag. And I think that the smarter move is laser tag because there's already a bunch of shooters, you know. So
yeah, and I think you kind of get a lot more success being able to essentially call it just Wii Sports 2, but of course you call it Nintendo Switch Sports. Like it wouldn't have worked as well had they not done motion controls. I feel like it was an important part of the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I feel like even in terms of characters and stuff, like while I think it would have been cooler to have robot people or whatever, and still think, you know, obviously there's a possibility that that becomes a thing anyway. It's not like it changes the character physics because it's still your physics. You know, that would feel weird if you were a big robot and moved just as quickly as a little squirrel person, but besides the point. But those kinds of things, I would have thought it would have been cooler if they did different things, but I think for the general audience, they definitely were better off doing something that feels, you know, like a Pixar me sort of thing, like they did, which like generic as all get out in a lot of ways, but at least it's kind of like blank slate template sort of a thing to get you right into the action of like, you know, playing the game the way you remember it in Wii Sports. But here instead. Yep.
I mean, I'm curious to see where it all pans out. It seems like, at least from what I'm seeing with the UK stuff, because that's really, that and Japan are the only places where we get an indication of how well things are doing from week to week. It looks like it's doing well in the UK, which I mean, it's
and with legs specifically too. Yeah,
because the UK usually, like with Nintendo stuff, only the big stuff is like the stuff that like dominates for a long time, you know, like they're much more like a PlayStation centric territory, whereas like right now Nintendo dominates Japan, like there's no competition there. Nintendo has a pretty good hold on the US, but as of late it's been whoever can manufacture enough consoles to get them to consumers, they will win. You know, sometimes Xbox is the best selling, sometimes PlayStation is the best selling, sometimes Switch is the best selling. So I'm curious to see if UK is indicative of anything, because like they are dominated by a specific thing, whereas everybody else is more so like a wild card.
And it'll be interesting to, you know, like whereas with Mario Golf and Mario Tennis and stuff, when they had new stuff come out, it was like, I don't know that I necessarily would go back to it much at all. Whereas with this, the new things they have coming out are whole different experiences. Like when golf joins, it's golf now. And that's different from any of the other things you're doing. And so maybe the game you loved on Wii Sports was golf. Maybe it was boxing or whatever. So as they continue, theoretically continue to add more of those things past the only confirmed one we have, which is golf. Is that something that'll increase more, like, you know, increase sales more than it did for Mario Tennis and Mario Golf and stuff? That's the question.
There's that.
You know, will people keep playing it just like we're playing games these days?
True.
Probably.
We're playing video games. Where are we playing?
Where are we playing? Dan? What are you, AJ? Somebody else than me.
You know,
somebody. What?
Dan, where are you playing, man?
So I got sucked back into Destiny 2. A friend started telling me like all the stuff I'd missed since I stopped playing like 2 years ago, and suddenly like the story just randomly got very, very, very good. And so I jumped back in, and
did you have to like go and play through all the other stuff since then, or could you? Is it the type of thing that
I watched like a YouTube video going through the events to just kind of catch up. I am still playing through some of the old stuff just because that's how you get some extra powers and stuff. But like, it's good. God, Destiny just has some of the best gunplay out of any game I've played. Every gun you get feels great to fire.
That's nice.
So
I mean,
that's what I've been.
Given
That's
the
what I've been
pedigree
doing.
of the developers.
It sounds like, yeah, that's true. It's
Go for
always
it.
interesting how, like, so my friend Mitch played Destiny for a while and still does sometimes with friends, and played Final Fantasy 14 a whole bunch. And, like, the way that they do storytelling in active games like that, or like games of service kind of thing, is just so interesting because, like, yeah, I don't know. They have to do it in a way that you can be 2 years late, still come back to it and catch up with everybody else.
Right.
And like, there's so many factors to have to consider there. So like, you know, if those ones are doing it well, then like, that's awesome. Cause I would do it poorly. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Should have
That's
did
fun.
that for the Shark Tank. We would have been able to win, Dan.
Yeah, I know, right?
Could have got the W.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I've a lot of different stuff. I've been doing Breath of the Wild DLC stuff because I did not finish the DLC, so I'm like, yo, I should do that. Before
Which stuff are you still doing? Is it the
just
like Trial of the Sword things?
shrines and whatnot. I do need to do Trial of the Sword. So I'm trying to do the DLC stuff on stream. The Trial of the Sword. That's something that I like. I'm like, I could do this off stream. That's fine.
I was gonna say that feels like great
Yeah.
stream content to me, but
Yeah,
because
but
it's very
like
Eventide Island-y, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
But it is.
But it's also like the type of thing that, like, I mean, people might like it on stream, but me, I don't like the like, sort of like torture myself content, you know, like dying
Oh.
like over and over and over again on stream is not fun to me. I want like forward momentum, you know. So like if I'm dying over and over again, I'd rather do that alone. It's like a cat going in seclusion to you know to die. It's kind of like that. It's like you don't need to see me die this many times. Like,
Yeah, who would do that?
yeah, true, man.
Whoever would do that is real
yeah,
stupid moron.
Who does that?
I hear you doing crowd control something or other. Dan,
I'm
is
playing
that right?
every Mario available on crowd control. And I hit a one of many breaking points last night where
You going
it took
through
me.
it?
I'm going through it. Hey, it's great content, but man, it
This is
hurts.
the thing, though. I'm always giving Bob crap. I was going to say the other word for everybody that was like, "What?" AJ said crap. Just to let you know, I thought about it. I was gonna tell Bob because you know it's the whole thing. I was gonna say bit. It's not a bit though. You are better than Bob at Mario. Like it's just a thing.
Yeah.
And I was going to bring it up because he too was playing Mario when you were playing Mario. And it needs to happen. You guys need to do that. Like the freaking Bob and Jackson did the speed run thing, and I'm like, why these two? Why not you and Bob? You and Bob need to do a speed run thing on stream.
So
I want to see that.
We're talking now. Essentially, what my pitch to him is: let's do a best of. So we'll get someone that knows Mario Maker 2 well and can find like remakes of games from Super Mario 3, World, and then the 3D World or the 3D Land or New Super Mario's 3. Whatever. You know what the last one, that one will just be like real hard levels from Mario Maker 2 creators. Like that will be the grab bag of, okay, now that you guys survived, you know, pre-made levels from Nintendo, what about some of these creator levels?
Right.
Yep. That sounds
So
fun.
We would be able
I
to
think that would be a really fun time.
champion.
The true champion for a year, and then we'll just make it an annual thing.
True.
You know, because content.
Unrelated, we still got to do the thing where I teach Bridget how to play Smash. We got to do it.
Oh, yeah. And
I feel like that would
Splatoon
be-
2 soon,
Yeah,
or
of
3
course,
soon.
of course. Yeah, definitely. For sure. That's definitely a
Should
thing
be
we
in,
gotta do.
yeah, in time for the release of the Let's Play channel. So,
I'm down. I love doing Let's Play stuff. I just don't like logistically doing it. You know what I mean? Like if I'm on somebody else's Let's Play, that's cool. I don't gotta worry about the how well or poorly Let's Plays perform in 2022. You know, I don't gotta worry about that side of it. I can just show up and hang out.
That's the point. That's the bit.
That's a fact. But yeah, that I mean, also obviously for me, game wise, Smash. You know, it's a continued journey of improving in the video game. Nintendo did that, or Panda, really. Nintendo's not really saying a whole lot about it. They retweeted it, but Panda announced the Panda Cup, so I'm keeping my eye on that. I might enter some of those tournaments, see how I do.
Nice.
Should be a good time. But yeah, playing Smash. All this stuff, most of my game time is done on stream though, so it's like you guys see it. You guys see when I'm like freaking. We do Pokemon Nuzlocks. I mean, not Pokemon Nuzlocks. We do Pokemon Max Raids with viewers every week. We did it 2 times this week. Usually, I try to do it 1 time per week. I want to have like standing games of like, this day I play Smash. This day we play Pokemon. This day we play Breath of the Wild. But it hasn't really worked out that way because it just ends up being like people hitting me up and like, yo, you want to play this? I'm like, yeah, I'm down to play that. And we do that. What about you, Parker? Where you been playing?
Yeah.
True. Of the time.
I didn't. Hold on. I gotta mention this. Shinies. So I don't know if I broke down the backstory of this, but Trev broke the shiny Pokemon economy with Pokemon Legends Arceus, and I famously have been very lucky on stream with shinies through the Dynamax adventures, just generally, honestly. But like my first Pokemon that I caught in a Dynamax adventure was a shiny Pokemon. It was to the point where I thought that just happens to everybody, right? It's just like a hard locked shiny, and turns out that wasn't the case. Post Arceus, Trev being a sweat, getting all these shinies and stuff. We go back to Pokemon Sword and Shield, doing the Dynamax adventures. Nobody is getting shinies except for Alec occasionally. It's a dry spell, and it's all Trev's fault. Fast forward to this past week. I got 2 shinies in 1 raid, which is stupid, and I hate it, but also it's Pog. You know? Like, it's super lucky. Like, you got 2 shinies. Like, how likely is that? But at the same time, it sucks because you can only pick 1. And then the stream, it sucks. It sucks.
Oh.
Yeah. That's why I was mad, because I got a shiny Lopunny, which is cringe and cursed. But I was like, and a shiny Obstagoon, and that's also cursed for a different reason. But I picked that one because it's a better shiny, but it's just like the origin of Obstagoon is kind of cursed. But yeah, it's like a shiny is a shiny. I wanted both of those because at the bare minimum, shinies are currency. I can be like, yo, I got the shiny, you got the Pokemon that I want, give me the Pokemon I want. But yeah, I couldn't get the Lopunny. But the immediate next raid that I did in the next stream, I got another shiny Pokemon.
Nice.
Oh my god,
my shiny luck is back. Dude, 2 streams in a row. 2 streams, 3 shiny encounters. It's not bad.
Hey, you love to hear it.
You do.
That said, I don't even remember what the Pokemon was that I got that was shiny. I don't even remember the last one. It would have to Google. I remember that much. Okay, so we do shiny tier lists here a lot too on the stream. And there's the categories of like great shiny. This shiny is a marked improvement over the original form, and it looks great. It's a great color scheme. And then there's like, this is a pretty good shiny. And then there's decent. And then there's would have to Google, which is like, I don't even know if this is shiny or not. Is this shiny? And then there's male, which is like, this looks bad. And then there's Y, which is like, this is a terrible shiny. And a recent inclusion to the tiers is Druddigan. Because Druddigan so far, worst shiny of all time. So we put like whatever the worst shiny is for that specific generation in the Druddigan tier. So that's where I'm at.
Looking up Druddigan.
I think Parker did the Trev thing and typed it in the wrong tab.
I totally did.
Oh, it's him on top. That's what it was. That's what the Pokemon was.
Oh,
shiny him on top.
Nice. Yeah, Druddigan shiny looks disgusting.
It's terrible. It's a terrible shiny. Yeah. I could have put it on the screen, but I didn't think to do that.
But here we are. So in terms of my game playing, I've had very, very little over the past very long time. Yeah, life's been a lot. But I did a little over a week ago. I got Cruisin' Blast for me because Ashley and I have been playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe pretty often, and we've played that itself quite a bit at this point. So I just figured, like, I don't know, Cruise and Blast, $20. Like, that's not bad. Just go ahead and get it. And we had an eShop gift card that I gave her for Christmas, I think, and she didn't use, and so we just used that. And it's very fun. Like, it's very arcadey and like, yeah, it's just like more like a roller coaster, or not roller coaster. What's the word you use for Star Fox Zero and stuff?
Rail shooter.
Yeah.
Though the one for Star Fox Zero specifically, where you're like, oh, it's like I guess a ride, that kind of a thing.
A simulator?
Sure. Just that it's like more about the spectacle and all that than it is about the actual like, sweaty gameplay or anything along those lines. It's just, you're just having a fun time. So, also you can turn it on like auto go and stuff. And so my daughter, who is 1, played it, and like she was holding the controller, and like you can turn it on steering that way. I mean, like motion controlled steering.
Oh no!
And so she was like kind of doing it, and every time it would go over a jump, she'd like just kind of.
Oh no! It's too cute.
It was very cute. I think we might have gotten it on video. If not, it's
bonus content.
It's in the brain. So, yep. So that's been a lot of fun. But otherwise, yeah, I haven't played a whole lot. Just like a couple things with Ashley here and there. But I'd like to keep finishing Torna and various other things. But I'll get to it when I get to it. That's me, playing wise. And then, all right. So we've got one Q&A question, and then we're done. And we got to move on to community games.
That's so fun.
And at which point Dan will be leaving us. Thank you so much, Dan, for being here.
Yeah, no problem.
We'll do your outros and stuff in a second. But the one question is, RP1998 asks, when Multiverses comes out, do you believe it will be on the same level as Brawlhalla, or will it fall like Nick All-Star Brawl?
Brawlhalla is an interesting one to name, because I mean Brawlhalla definitely like it's like has a presence because it's like carried by the developer, where it's like the developer supports the game and like invests in prize pools and that, so it gives people a reason to play it, because it's like, yo, if I play this game and I get good at this game and I like go to all the tournaments, I can make $1 million, dude. There's a $1 million circuit or whatever. Like, I'll play freaking Brawlhalla for $1 million. So like I get it, but at the same time I think that Multiverses has potential to be more than that, honestly. I haven't gotten a chance to play it, which is why I can't like definitively say, but I feel like the only thing that a game like this needs to do is have IP that people care about, check, and be a solid game that just anybody wants to play, like, because the thing is, like, people think of fighting games and they think like, oh, only Sweat's like this game or whatever, right? But like, you have to be good enough to make people want to be a Sweat. Like, people want to get good at Smash because they have fun playing Smash. So that was the thing with Nick All-Star Brawl, where it's like not just anybody wants to play this game. It just interests people that like already care about platform fighters and like want to be competitive at them. So Multiverses, pending me actually playing it, it looks like it could be a thing that's like just fun to just play. It has the like team battle gimmick sort of situation to like set it apart from Smash. It's like a good play to like get people to want to play it in bulk, because like if you win one person over, that person can win somebody else over on the strength of them being like, oh, you could be my teammate, whereas like Smash is like, it can just be this very like insular thing where it's like, well, I mean, I'm going to play Smash, and like team battle's a thing in Smash, but it's not a thing in Smash, so it's like it's just a one-person activity if you're playing Smash. Whereas Multiverses, it's a package deal inherently, or at least it's designed to be one. They have a 1v1 mode, but from what I'm hearing, 1v1's not as good. So we'll see as far as like how I feel, like final thoughts. But I do think it has potential to be in a much better place than Nick All-Star Brawl, because they did pay attention to the set dressing and making the game feel like something that you want to play in 2022.
Are you saying they understood the assignment?
Yes, 100%. Absolutely.
Now, I, however, will counter with, I think it really depends on how hard it feels like they try. I know that sounds like a weird thing to do, but if they're trying way too hard to be like, yo, your favorite stuff, people are going to get turned off.
It's
like,
going to feel soulless,
Yeah, and it's it is funny that Shaggy is using 0.001% of his power. But like if they push too hard into other memes, it could
become a parody of itself.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, and then it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna go back and play Smash because.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, see, the thing is, like, Smash, it's over for that. Like, there will not be a Smash killer until there is a developer or a development team, more accurately, that cares about the individual properties and like making this cohesive thing as much as Sakurai cares about Smash.
Exactly.
And the Nintendo's team behind that game, right? Because like Smash, at the end of the day, like, yeah, it's the ultimate crossover, blah blah blah, but the thing that is like so cool about it is that they put so much attention to detail in each individual character. Like, I don't play Smash as much as I do because I like all these franchises. I play it because I love Pokemon. They have Pokemon Trainer, and it's this really well realized Pokemon character that like pays tribute to what I love about Pokemon.
And the other benefit that Smash has is that it set the standard for the gameplay style, and so other games now have to decide how much do we copy that or not, and do we risk looking like, you know, just an actual ripoff, or changing things, but then making it maybe better but maybe worse by doing that, or at least different enough that it's different, and then people don't always want different. So like that's a weird balance that anybody else has to deal with. Right. Smash is just like, no, we're just going to do Smash. So like,
yeah, exactly.
That's a fact.
Yep. It'll be interesting.
So,
and with that,
we're
done, y'all. Episode 200. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining.
Dan,
what a special episode. What a special episode.
What a special episode. Episode 200. Actually, hold on. Not because it's episode 200, but because Dan's here. That's why it was a special episode.
That's right.
Yep.
So, thanks, everybody. Dude, we gotta do the plugs, man. Everybody go to youtube.com/thatcyberchannel, twitch.tv/thatcyberchannel, or Twitter, thatcyberguy, Instagram too. Yeah. I think you're that cyber guy.
Yeah, cyber guy on the socials.
Yep.
For the content, go to the channel.
If you would say channel at the end of the platform, it is that cyber channel.
One day I'll have normal branding that everyone can easily get to. But until then,
I argue that's pretty strong. It's a pretty strong distinction. You know, like once you understand it, it's easy to get. You know.
Yeah.
But it would be good if it's all literally the same exact thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's that. I mean, you can subscribe to us and follow us on Twitter. All this stuff is on the screen if you're listening. If you're watching it on YouTube or Twitch right now, currently.
Do it.
There's that. We usually do the comment question thing, but I don't know what to put on there. Thanks for watching. Do you know? If you know.
Everybody else, tell us your brand new Nintendo IP, like we did right at the end. It's the tiebreaker one.
Yeah.
And if you're not creative, what was your favorite pitch out of all the pitches?
There you go. Yeah.
That's a fact.
Smart.
Okay, thanks everybody. I'm going to put up the end screen now. Here's the end screen. I don't know. I don't know if people can hear. People can hear me for sure. I'm still here, dude. I am here. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. The subscribe button's right there, man. There it is. We're good. Okay, let me click.